Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to the channel, where we meticulously examine the latest developments surrounding the world's most scrutinized figures. Today, we delve into a narrative of profound public retribution and unrelenting consequence, focusing on the enduring controversy that continues to engulf the former Duke of York, Prince Andrew. The once privileged existence of the younger brother to King Charles III has been fundamentally altered, seemingly beyond repair. He is currently navigating a period of unprecedented pressure, a relentless storm of public disapproval, fueled by ongoing revelations. The situation has been exacerbated dramatically by the recent publication of a bombshell memoir from his accuser, a text that has cast fresh, unforgiving light upon the dark corners of the scandal, ensuring that the Duke is being shown absolutely no quarter, no mercy, by the court of public opinion. It appears that despite his royal lineage, the prince is desperately clinging to the hope of some miraculous intervention, a sudden shift in the narrative that might break the heavy, restrictive fetters of scandal that bind him. Yet, every week seems to bring a fresh, devastating blow, chipping away at the remnants of his former life and status. The most recent and perhaps most localized indicator of just how far his reputation has plummeted comes not from palace walls, but from a quiet residential street in Berkshire. Imagine the sheer mortification experienced by residents who find themselves constantly having to disclose an address that is now inextricably linked to this global controversy. This thoroughfare located in Maidenhead has become a source of profound discomfort for its inhabitants. These neighbors, who simply wish to live their lives without the daily reminder of a royal disgrace, are now actively mobilizing. They have launched formal efforts to change their address, initiating a civic push to rename the street entirely, eradicating the name that currently bears the former Duke's designation. This is not merely an inconvenience, it is a profound societal rejection. The residents report experiencing palpable unease and shame whenever they are obliged to state where they live, a feeling of humiliation stemming directly from the street's connection to the former Duke's association with the late convicted sex offender, Jeffrey Epstein. This localized movement underscores the depth of public anger, demonstrating that the consequences of Andrew's actions are penetrating even the most mundane aspects of everyday life for those tangentially connected to him. This move by the Maidenhead residents follows a series of highly symbolic, yet immensely significant, removals of his official status markers. Earlier in this protracted saga, a powerful emblem of his standing was physically taken down at one of the monarchy's most sacred locations. His royal banner, bearing his personal coat of arms, which had previously adorned the interior of St. George's Chapel within the venerable confines of Windsor Castle, has been removed. For those unfamiliar with the ancient traditions of the British monarchy, this is no trivial matter. That banner signified his membership in the ancient and highly prestigious Order of the Garter, one of the highest honors bestowed by the sovereign. While he had previously agreed to relinquish his specific military titles, the removal of this physical flag, which had hung proudly inside the chapel, represents a public, visible eradication of his historical place among the kingdom's most honored knights. That flag is no longer permitted to hang in that hallowed space, a stark visual representation of his fall from grace. The sequence of events leading to this widespread rejection is critical to understanding the current climate. The critical turning point came on October 17th when Prince Andrew officially surrendered his remaining royal titles and privileges in the wake of the intensifying scrutiny over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. This surrender, far from quelling the storm, seems only to have emboldened the public demand for further consequences. It is becoming agonizingly clear that the Duke's former influence, his so-called royal card, and his historic connections with other influential figures across society has become utterly useless. The public furor is not subsiding, indeed it is said to be intensifying, leading to increasing pressure from various quarters for him to lose even more of his remaining privileges. The demands are now targeting the very foundations of his identity and security. Specifically, there is mounting expectation for the formal, permanent removal of all his remaining titles, effectively reducing him to the status of a private citizen named Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Furthermore, the security of his primary residence is now gravely threatened. He is under immense pressure to vacate Royal Lodge, the sprawling and historic property located within the Windsor estate, which has served as his home for many years. To lose Royal Lodge would be the ultimate personal and professional severance from the heart of the royal establishment. But the tragic consequences of this unfolding drama are not confined to Prince Andrew alone. The reverberations of his alleged wrongdoings are now engulfing his entire immediate family, who are also described by insiders as being in an agonizing, impossible position. The scandal has placed the York family unit under intolerable strain, creating rifts and fissures where once there was strength. This fracturing was laid bare by an extremely telling event that occurred shortly after the Duke surrendered his titles. On October 20th, a crucial, high-stakes family meeting was convened at Royal Lodge. The purpose of this gathering was to address the immediate aftermath of the former Duke's sudden, dramatic move to surrender his royal privileges and to strategize how the family might navigate the ensuing public relations fallout. Present at this pivotal crisis talk were Prince Andrew, his former wife Sarah, Duchess of York, and their elder daughter, Princess Beatrice. However, the absence of the younger daughter, Princess Eugenie, was noted with significant alarm by royal observers and insiders alike. Eugenie, who has long maintained a close relationship with her father, chose to ditch this vital family assembly. Her non-attendance spoke volumes, clearly describing the acute gravity of the situation facing the York family, and perhaps indicating a personal distancing from the ongoing turmoil. An insider, speaking anonymously to the Mail newspaper, provided a chilling confirmation of the internal atmosphere at Royal Lodge that day. They revealed that the meeting wasn't a happy occasion, a profound understatement for what was clearly a moment of deep distress. More significantly, the source confirmed the heartbreaking reality that the family, which had once been recognized for its strong, unified front, particularly the bond between the parents and their daughters, is now fundamentally fractured. The emotional toll was immediately visible on those who did attend. Princess Beatrice, despite showing up for the crisis talks to support her parents, emerged from the expansive property looking undeniably distressed. Her visible anguish served as a powerful, nonverbal confirmation of the immense pressure and emotional devastation that the family is enduring behind the closed doors of Royal Lodge. The weight of the scandal is not just financial or reputational, it is deeply personal and emotionally crippling for those closest to the Duke. The narrative surrounding Prince Andrew is now a textbook example of how public opinion, once turned, becomes an unstoppable force. The sequence of events, from the searing accusations in a new memoir to the localized shame felt by residents on a Maidenhead street, and culminating in the symbolic removal of his garter banner from a royal chapel, all paint a picture of relentless consequence. His royal connections are proving meaningless against the tide of public anger, and the pressure to strip him of his remaining privileges, including the highly coveted residence at Royal Lodge, only continues to build. The family unit, once a source of strength and mutual support, now appears strained to the breaking point, highlighted most poignantly by Princess Eugenie's noticeable absence from the critical meeting on October 20th, and the visible distress etched on Princess Beatrice's face as she departed. The crisis is ongoing, and the path forward for the former Duke of York looks bleaker than ever before. He remains isolated, seemingly abandoned by the very institution he once served, facing a future where his name is associated not with service, but with relentless scandal. This unfolding tragedy compels us to consider the true cost of privilege when it intersects with profound moral failure. The consequences are far-reaching, affecting not just the individual, but the entire network of relationships and even the geography associated with that person's name. We are left to wonder whether the Duke can ever truly escape the shadows of this controversy, or if this relentless dismantling of his public and private life is merely the beginning of a final, irreversible chapter in his story. The demands for further action, particularly the removal of his remaining titles and the ultimate surrender of Royal Lodge, suggest that the public is far from satisfied, and that the demands for accountability will continue until every last vestige of his privileged status has been relinquished. What are your thoughts on this latest wave of consequences facing Prince Andrew? Do you believe the residents of Maidenhead are justified in their efforts to change their street name? And how significant is the visible fracture within the York family unit? Please share your perspectives and opinions in the comment section below. We read every single comment, and your input drives our discussion. Don't forget to like this video if you found this detailed breakdown informative. Subscribe to the channel for more in-depth coverage of royal and celebrity affairs, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next update. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying engaged with us. We appreciate your viewership, and we will see you in the next analysis.